Hello everyone, welcome to my TE360 final projects presentations. Throughout the semester, we have visited so many different startup companies and we have learned that VCs in Chicago is pretty popular. So just to provide some backgrounds and context, Chicago tech companies has raised 3.8 billion so far this year, including 1.7 billion last quarter. Also, Chicago is ranked the 10th amongst the most diverse cities around the country. So we might have a idea that is there a connections between VC firms and diversities? And that is what I'm doing for the final projects. So my final project thesis is basically saying that traditionally VC firms are dominated by white males and are less diverse compared to other industries. So I'm investigating if that's also true for VC firms that are based in Chicago. So we are going to follow the traditional data science workflow, starting from data collections to data cleaning and data wrangling to EDA, and then finally doing a statistical modeling. First, data collections. We collect our data from data.world and specifically a sections called Chicago Blend, which provides all kind of data about Chicago. Next, I perform some data cleaning and data wrangling. First, I import the data from an Excel. Then I basically separate it to two different data frames, one for VC firms, the other one for non-VC firms. Then I categorize some new columns to identify whether the current employees at the firm is a male or a female, whether his race is white or other race, so that we can categorize those employees into different categories we just mentioned, and then we can perform some testing. After data cleaning and data wrangling, we're performing a EDA, basically a data visualizations to see the data set we just gathered. We plotted out two scatter plots. So on the left one, we have the scatter plot for the VC firms. And on the right side, there is a scatter plot for non-VC firms. As you can see on the x-axis, it's basically the female percentage within the firms. And on the y-axis, it's basically the diversity percentage for those two firms. Basically, the higher either numbers are, the better, the more diverse the company is. After we did some data visualizations, we want to test our hypothesis in a rigorous way. And that's why we are performing a pair sample t-test, because we gather two random samples, one for VC firms and the other one for non-VC firms. So performing a pair sample t-test is the best test we have to fit this problem. So first we are testing for male versus female, and we have a p-value of 0.368. And the other t-test was performed for white versus other races, which has a p-value of 0.423. As you can see, both of the p-value are pretty large, and none of the p-value are less than 5% or even 10%. So we can confident to say that both of the tests are failed to reject the null hypothesis. So in conclusions, VC firms in Chicago are just as diverse as non-VC firms in Chicago, which is a good thing, which indicates that VC firms in Chicago definitely are as diverse as non-VC firms in Chicago. So thank you for listening.